Hi guys, welcome back to the second part of this tutorial. Now last time we tested our app to see how it looks like and we got this result, so that's perfectly fine. Now we're just going to move on to the next part of it, which is setting up our database helper. Okay, so back to your code. Now we want to create another package, okay, and this time we're creating a helper package. Okay, so go ahead and create one. Okay, and inside this helper package we're going to create a new class, okay, and this will be our database helper. So DBHelper. Click finish. And now we're going to go ahead and construct our DBHelper. Okay. Now this is basically where we're going to have all of our methods, like to save stuff to database and to get the stuff back. Now before we do that, we need to add a library. Okay, I'm going to post up a link for this in the description, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, just make sure to check down in the description to see for the link. We're going to add a JDBC library, JDBC driver library. Okay, so I'm just going to I'm going to drag and drop that. Let's see what happens. So I want to drag that into the library folder or the libs folder. Okay, and I'm just going to copy that in there. Okay, and then I'm going to right click on my project, go to properties, then go to Java build path, then go to libraries, and we say add jars, and just navigate straight onto our libs folder and select the jar file that we just added previously. And once you have that added, just click OK, and then your project should be compiled. Well, your project will automatically compile and then have all the necessary classes needed for us connecting to the database using the JDBC driver. Okay, so now the first thing we're going to need is a connection. So we're going to create one now. Okay. And another thing we're going to add is just a tag. So whenever we get an error somewhere, it's going to reference back to, well, it's going to tell us which class is throwing the error. Okay, so, and then we're going to say helper class dot get simple. Get simple name. Okay, and we're just going to import this. Okay, so you need to import the java.sql. Okay, so it's the java.sql for this. And then we have a constructor. And inside of a constructor, this is where we're going to instantiate our connections. So at the start, we're just going to say this is equal to null, and then we're going to do a try and catch, because we need to catch the connection error, which is an Sql exceptions. Okay. Normally, if you just instantiate the connection without using the try and catch, it's going to give you an error telling you that like you need to either throw an exception or use the try and catch. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is we need to say class the for name Okay. Now this will allow us to pass in the name of the JDBC driver into a class into an application, so that the application will recognize the JDBC driver class. Okay, so if you remember, inside of our app config, we added a driver string. Okay, so this one here, so that's what we're going to use. So we're going to say app config dot driver. Okay. If you're still getting an error, it just means that you haven't imported the app config class. So just make sure that you import that class. Okay. And here I'm just going to say catch is a class not found exception. Okay. And then you're going to say log.error or log.e, and we're going to say tag, which is the key, and then the message will be the c.get message. Okay. And then you also need to import the log class, which is import android.util. Okay. Now back to here again. The next thing we need to do is we need to say con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. Okay. And then we're going to pass in the app config dot connection string. Okay. Then we're going to say app config dot user or dot db underscore user. Okay, and the last one will be app config dot db pass. Okay. And then we also need to catch the error for that one, so just need to say catch, and this time is Sql exception. Okay, and then we'll just need to import that Android. Well, sorry, it should be the java.sql.sql exception. Okay, not the other ones. And then here we're going to say log.e for the error. Okay, I'm going to say tag is the ID and the message is s.get message. That way, if either the connection or the class fails, it's going to tell us, okay, this happened in this particular class, and the error message is whatever error message is being thrown back. Okay, and then that is that for our constructor. Now the next thing is we need to start building up our let's say we need to create our add method. Okay, so we're going to say public void, well actually we're going to say public boolean. Okay, we're going to say add details. Okay, so in the add details we're going to take 4 parameters. Okay, so the first one will be the string, first name, next one will be string, last name, the other will be int, okay, age, and the last one will be int height. Okay. And then here we're going to say boolean result is equal to false. Okay. We want to say return result. Now, in between that, we need to do our storing. Okay, we need to store the details into the database. Okay. Now, obviously, this one, like, it's not like a login or anything like that, so we're not really worried much about duplicate values and so on. Okay. Yeah, so we're not really worried about that, so we don't have to, do a check to see if this particular name is already there or not. Okay, we're just going to do it straight into, like, we're going to add the data straight into the database. Okay. So what we need to do is first, I need to say string. Actually, no. I'm going to use a class called prepared statements. Okay. So I'm going to do a try and catch, and again we're going to be catching an SQL exception. I'm just going to copy this to save me the trouble. Okay. Because we're catching an SQL exception. And then obviously it's going to say unreachable, blah, 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 blah. It just means we haven't done anything worth catching. So we're going to start with saying prepared statement st is equal to con dot okay, so first thing first, need to import this guy. So remember, we're still using the java.sql library, so import the java.sql prepare statements library, prepare statement class, sorry. Then we're going to say con dot prepared statement. Okay. And then remember, since this is an SQL statement that we're launching, okay, we're going to be doing an insert statement. So we're going to type in insert into. Now, if you remember the name of our database or a table, sorry, you can say app config table name. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to put this down here so you can see it a bit better. And then we want to say we're just going to type in f name, l name, age, and height. Okay, and then we're going to say values. Okay, just going to put that over here, and then the values will be question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay. Now to explain this, the reason why I'm saying question mark is because I'm going to use the st statement to actually pass in the value in below instead of passing the value here. Okay. So if you leave it as question mark, it just means when you use the st.set string or any set method for the prepared statement, it will automatically fill in the value for all of these. Okay, as long as you know which position each one of these are. Like this will be position 0, position 1, position 2, position 3, and so on. Okay. Now, let's see what the time is. And what's the time? What time? Okay, so we have 15. We still have plenty of time. Okay, so okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to say st.set string. Okay. Now this takes in two parameters, as you can see here. So the set string takes in an index and then the actual value. Okay. So in this case, index will be index 1. Okay. And I will explain why I'm using index 1 instead of index 0 and so on. Okay. Index 1, and then the index 1 we're going to pass in the first name. Okay. And then we're going to do another one, st.set string index 2, and then this will be last name. Okay. Set int. Okay, this time I'm using a set int instead of a set string because our next value is an integer. And then this will be index 3, and then this will be age, and say st.set int again, index 4, and then this will be height. Okay. And then once we do all that, then we can say result is equal to st.execute. Okay. Now execute is a Boolean type method, and it will return true or false depending on what. Okay. And in this case, what we're looking for is false. Okay. So if you read here, it says true if the result of the execution is result set, and false if there is no result or if the result is an update count. Okay. So our result, our statement here is an update count. Is a type of an update. Okay. Like we are not returning a value, we're actually inserting a value into a database. So it's kind of doing an update. Okay. So in this case, we're checking to see if the result is false. Okay. So if the result is false, then that's that's good. If the result is true, then that means something happened. Okay. And then after that, you just say st.close, and this will close the connection. Okay. Always make sure to close the connection whenever you're not using the database. Okay. And then that should be that. And this should be the method for the update. Sorry, for the add details. Okay. Now to get details, it's a different type of method. Okay, so we're going to work on that just now. Let's see how many more minutes. Still have plenty. So I'm going to say public. Now this time it's going to be a different type. It's not going to be a boolean or a void or a string. It's going to be a hash map. Okay. So public hash map, and it's going to be type string, and going to be get details. Okay. And now the reason why I use this okay, Now let's see. Okay, just for now, this method will just return one particular set of details. Okay, not every single detail, just one. Okay, and what it takes is string fname and a string name. Okay, we're going to use the fname and the lname to match the user. Okay, and then here we're just going to return detail. Now at the start here, I'm going to say hash map string, and it's going to be called detail is equal to new hash map string again, and curly braces, and that's it. All right. So this time we're just gonna do an all-out select statements to get the detail back. Okay. So in this case, our query, we're gonna say string query is equal to, we're gonna say select star from, and I'm gonna say plus and say app config dot table name. Okay, and then we're gonna say where fname is equal to fname, and then we're going to say here lname is equal to plus lname. Is that all right? So we're just doing a quick select statement, and then we're matching out where the first name and the last name. Or actually, I forgot. And so that way, like it's a bit more restrictive, so that it only picks out the person that actually has that first name and last name. Okay. And then here, I'm going to say result set rs is equal to I don't know if I remember. So result set is equal to and then here, sorry, first we're going to say statement st is equal to connection dot create statement. Okay, just import the statement class and import the results set class, and then here we can say statements result set is equal to statements dot execute execute query. Okay, and then just passing query inside the bracket. And obviously you need to wrap this into a try and catch method, don't forget that. So try catch, and we're catching SQL exception. Again, I'm just going to copy and paste that, put it there. I'm just going to format this. So source, and let's click on format. Okay. And then after you do that, then what you need to do next is you need to say okay, you need to say if, okay, if rs dot next. So if rs dot next just means if there is an element, okay, then what I need to do is I need to say, okay, detail dot put, okay, and the key will be, the first thing will be f name, and then the value will be rs dot get string, and then this will be f name, okay. And then I'm just going to duplicate that into 4 parts, okay. This will be L name, and then get string L name as well, and this will be age. Well, this won't be get string, this will be get int, and this will be age as well, sorry, age, but then you just need to concatenate this guy. We're going to say blank and then just plus, same with this one as well, blank and plus, and this will be height, and then here we're going to say height as well, but this will be get int instead, okay. And then after that, then the details should be filled out, and that should be it for the get details, okay. Just remember, this will only return one particular element based on the first name and last name you give it, okay. This won't return all of it. Alright, so if you have that part done, then we can stop there, and we'll continue this on the third video.